Hello everyone and welcome back to another Stargate lore video. Sorry it's been a while, like I said in the post I made recently on YouTube, college stuff, and to be honest, I've been a little under the weather recently. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice, but I have been, so fun stuff. Anyway, today I decided to do something kind of simple-ish, as today we're going to be talking about the Sekmet. So for all 93 of you-ish who watched the Phoenix File videos about the Ritu rebels, you might remember this line.
And the rebels have become the dominant Ritu faction. The rebels' goal remains to destroy all potential Goa'uld hosts. That means Unis, Jaffa, Tok'ra, the mythical Sekmet, and above all, the Tari.
But who are these mythical Sekmet? Now I own the PDF version of the rulebook, which lets me look up specific words in the book, but Sekmet only appears once. So I had to do some research, and boy did I find something interesting. Something I love about this new rulebook is it didn't ignore the old ones. While it doesn't acknowledge the old ones directly, there are some Easter eggs here and there if you know where to look. And this is where the Sekmet come from, as they were introduced in the SG-1 Living Gods Stargate System Lords rulebook. Though the spelling of the name is slightly different, and by that I mean in the old rulebook they had an H in there. As for why they dropped it, my best guess this was to help distinguish this race from the Goa'uld Sekmet, who by the way I completely forgot about until I was doing research for this video. Like, completely. Like, I read up her wiki thing, I'm like, wait, did this happen? This isn't like when I say forgot about Satesh was a thing, looked up his episode, like, oh, I remember this. It was like just complete blank on her. At some point in the future, she'll get her own video, as, funny enough, despite having the same name, she seemingly has nothing to do with the Sekmet. Though I don't know how much difference the changing in the spelling means when they are both pronounced the exact same way.
Don't believe me?
Sekmet.
Okay, I've been kind of beating around the bush long enough. So, who or what are these mythical Sekmet? No, I'm not joking. We've never seen a visual depiction of them, but they're described as being roughly 6.5 feet tall, their bodies covered in short, soft fur, they have pointed snouts, triangular swiveling ears, whiskers, and in general seem to resemble your average house cat. And, much like a common house cat, they have sharp, thin teeth, with razor-sharp claws on each hand, or would it be paw? Their history is largely unknown, but we do know that they were a race like the Unis, enslaved by the Goa'uld and used as hosts, servants, and warriors. The System Lord Basket was especially fond of using the Sekmet over the Unis. When humanity was discovered and became the default slave race, again, like the Unis, the Sekmet were largely abandoned. Though the Baskars were said to have based their helmets and weaponry on this species. It's not known what they've been up to since then. There are primitive tribes existing on the fringe of Goa'uld-controlled worlds. However, there are rumors of an advanced feline aliens who live out in the far corners of the Milky Way. If these feline aliens are the same race as the Sekmet, it is unknown. Supposedly this race was mentioned in Season 10, Episode 5's Uninvited. You know this one? But I rewatched the episode and I didn't hear this name mentioned at all, which was weird as I thought there were two ways they could be brought up. Either Vala talking about them as an exotic animal she hunted, or Teal'c mentioning them as a possible reason for the animal attacks. But like I said, they never came up. To anyone who writes on fandom pages, when you say something was said somewhere, please provide a quote, cite, or just some kind of context of what was said. It's just a common courtesy for the rest of us. Anyway, that is the Sekmet. If it wasn't for them being mentioned in the new RPG rulebook, I'd say we most likely would never see this race again. Well, read about them again, but the same thing. Though, I don't know how I would feel about them being brought into Stargate proper. Sure, cat people are a common race you see in fantasy and science fiction universes, but that kind of makes them a cliché in a way, and I've always felt Stargate is kind of above that. That said, I did find this fascinating thing to consider. A cliché is an overused element of storytelling, in this case a race of fictional cat people, who, as well you probably know, are all over the place in our culture. So it would be weird for a series that is supposed to be in a world just like ours to have just a race of cat people in it. However, we have to remember this may not be a case of our culture affecting the world, but the world affecting our culture, at least in Stargate's universe. See, remember that when humanity was discovered by the Goa'uld, there was some time before the Goa'uld shifting to using humans exclusively as the main host race. So humans would have coexisted with the other host races, such as with the Unis, who the humans describe as serpents. And getting to somewhat speculative territory here, that probably influenced the creation of various reptile-based races in the Stargate universe's fiction. So going by that logic, could we not say in the Stargate universe the creation of all the cat races in our fiction is a result of our human ancestors meeting the Sekmet? Just an interesting thought to leave off on. But what are your thoughts on the Sekmet? Do you like what you have learned about them and want to see them brought into Stargate one day? Or would you prefer them not to be brought into Stargate? Tell me your thoughts in the comments below and maybe leave a like and subscribe. And remember...
Okay, I just need you to... No, not up here. These cats are the hardest animal to work with. Could it kill you cats to just keep your head still?